Grand Theft Auto 5 is a comedy. Arguably a comedy about family drama, messed up relationships, drugs, money, daddy issues.
My daddy was not nice to me!
And bananas. I meant to say corruption, with a good number of characters in the game being absolute idiots. This cutscene is GTA 5 in a nutshell.
Subscribe for a banana.
The story of Grand Theft Auto 5 starts off with the prologue, which serves as the introduction not only to the gameplay mechanics but also sets the stage for the roller coaster of a narrative that unfolds throughout the game, as well as establishing the characters and the tone of the story. It starts off in the cold and frigid region of North Yankton, where we meet two of the three main characters before the story moves on to continue in the place where it's always sunny. Well, for the most part at least, that place being Los Santos. The prologue begins in 2004 with Michael DeSanta before he changed his name from Michael Townley, Trevor Phillips and their unfortunate partner in crime and friend Brad Snyder in the middle of a heist at the Bobcat Security Depot in Ludendorff, North Yankton. Michael, the mastermind of the operation, shows his leadership skills as they attempt to infiltrate the cash depot and secure the money. Trevor, being his wild, volatile, and unpredictable partner, adds a layer of chaos to the mission simply by being his usual weird self. And overall, not much being said by Brad, which is a shame considering the plot has a focus on the conflict between Trevor and Michael because of what happened to Brad. Naturally, I would have wanted the story to do a little bit more to make me give a damn about Brad. It sure would have at least been nice to get a DLC which could have served as a prequel to help players learn and care a bit more about Brad. But anyways, moving on. It should be noted that these opening scenes showcase the intense dynamics between the characters and hint at the complexity of their relationships. We as the player witness the heist at a point where Michael and Brad are sticking up and beating the crap out of the depot staff members and making sure that they don't do anything funny shortly before forcing them one by one to get in the closet. Smart move, by the way. And hearing that woman sound like she's having a panic attack, trust me, that never gets old.
Get in there!
All this is happening while Trevor makes his way down to the vault where he plants the bomb to blow open the door so the crew can get access to the money. When he returns, he gives Michael the go-ahead to use the phone and detonate the bomb, which they do successfully, and then head to the vault, leaving Brad behind to watch the hostages, where they start to load up and fill their duffel bags with stacks of cash, managing to steal close to around $200,000. Something important to note is that while loading up their bags, Trevor states that there's enough here for us all to enjoy, right? Where right after, Michael responds saying, quote, "It depends on how you look at it," end quote.
There's enough here for us all to enjoy.
Depends on how you look at it.
Now, right there, being the person I am, I would have been suspicious of Mike the moment he said something like that, but maybe Trevor simply had too much trust in his friend to think of him in that way. But with Trevor being the sensitive person he is, his ear should have at least pricked up even a little bit after hearing Mike say something like that. After loading up their bags filled to the brim with money, the two of them step out of the vault, where Michael gets ambushed and held up by a guard from behind, with Trevor managing to quickly save Michael so that they can continue making their escape. Brad then blows a hole in the wall after they make their way down the hall, where the three robbers head outside. Now, as the heist progresses, anyone playing the game for the first time would naturally be expected to experience the tension and excitement of the robbery as the crew faces resistance from the security forces, being the North Yankton State Patrol, leading to a chaotic shootout just outside the depot. This action-packed sequence helps the new player to understand the cover system, shooting mechanics, and character switching, that being a feature which is totally cool for gameplay reasons, but story reasons not so much for me personally. Amidst the chaos, you as the player witness the camaraderie between Michael, Trevor and Brad as they fight their way to the getaway vehicle. After driving for a bit and diverting from a police roadblock, attempting to beat the train so that they can make it to the getaway chopper, which Brad and Trevor were told to be the next part of the plan Michael set for them, with Brad not believing there was actually an escape chopper when he stated, "Man, I'll believe in this bird when I get my eyes on it." You can tell that now, and even later on in the story, that it seemed both Lester and Brad knew there was something off about this heist. It seems only Trevor was the one who believed in it fully, but more importantly, believed in Michael, put 100% faith and trust in his friend. What a shame. With the team now on foot, Brad questions the whereabouts of the chopper and instantly receives a bullet seemingly directly in his heart from Dave Norton's sniper. That's the moment for Trevor where he finally realizes that something ain't right and says someone must have snitched. Michael sees Brad suffering from the gunshot and tells Trevor Brad's gonna be fine, just before receiving his staged gunshot. And even after Michael tells Trevor, "T, you gotta get out of here," Trevor shows how loyal he really was. and tries to hold off the police. It wasn't just about the money for Trevor. He seemed to genuinely just enjoy committing crimes alongside the dude he thought was his friend. Unless in that moment, the only reason he done everything was just to save the money. But I don't really think that. I genuinely think that Trevor cared about the two guys he was on the robbery with. Trevor then spots some random old lady seemingly trying to escape the area due to the chaos. He literally hunts her down, grabs her up, and asks her about the chopper and uses her as a hostage for a couple seconds and then lets her go after she says she doesn't know what he's talking about, and then runs off into the wilderness. The way she runs straight into the cop's arms is a bit weird to me.
Go! Go!
But anyways, Trevor escapes. And then we skip forward to a scene witnessing the fake funeral of Michael Townley, where his family, mainly Amanda and what looks like to be her relatives, seemingly mourn his death, with Dave Norton also seen walking around the site of the funeral, and Michael on the outside of the funeral, all covered up in a hat and glasses, smoking a ciggy and watching everything take place, probably thinking, man, I'm such a genius, I can finally move on with my life and have all the money to myself. I'm probably wondering where Trevor is. Probably not, he probably couldn't care less at that moment. Michael right there just looks like a straight up cold and calculated snake. Like, that's pretty much what he is. That probably even explains why he's in that dark sewage green coat, if you know what I'm saying. The snaky colors, the snaky vibes, you get me? That's what it really represents to me when I see him in that spot. Then right after the funeral, the game transitions from the snowy landscapes of North Yankton to the sunny and sprawling city of Los Santos. We transition to a scene in current day of the game, which is 2013, around 9 years after the North Yankton heist, with Michael talking to his therapist about his son, expressing his disdain for his son's attitude towards life, while at the same time complaining about his own life. Side note, I think Michael would have loved Jimmy a bit more if he grew up to be a protagonist for a GTA game. That's just what I believe, straight. Anyways, after leaving the therapist's office in Vespucci Beach and getting a quick intro scene showing off shots of the area, we see Michael as he walks down the beach to sit on a bench and take a breather by the seaside, something he loves to do, which is why he bought himself a boat so he could simply look at it. At this moment, we're introduced to the third main character, that being Franklin Clinton and his best friend Lamar Davis for the first time, while they bicker amongst each other about the details of their repo job, only to end up coincidentally stumbling upon Michael DeSanta, with Lamar stopping to ask him for directions, with Michael responding miserably, probably because he was still upset, or maybe he just didn't like Lamar, I don't know, but then he instantly has a change of heart and decides to give Lamar directions, possibly after realizing that he was just being a dickhead towards Lamar for no reason. Lamar goes on to thank Michael, and the two best buddies continue bickering as they make their way to steal the cars, which they end up successfully doing until the cops find out and they end up splitting up to shake them. And you know, one thing I noticed about this GTA game in particular is that there was a lot of bickering, just silly arguments that do come off as funny sometimes, but can start to feel stale, repetitive, and even annoying towards the end of the main story. But at least the missions towards the end were solid and interesting enough to carry the game. Right as Franklin delivers the stolen car to Simeon's dealership, he walks in while you can clearly hear Simeon trying to sell Jimmy, Michael's son, into buying a car using manipulation, and further uses Lamar's presence to make that happen. Now, if even someone as dumb as Lamar has enough common sense to see what's happening, it just goes to show that Jimmy and Tracy, both being Michael's kids, are so out of touch because they've been sheltered too much to the point that they're just so stupid and lack basic common sense or any level of street knowledge. On the flip side though, I think it's pretty cool how they made Franklin come into contact with both Michael and his son in the same day, considering everything that happened later on. Although rare in my experience, coincidences like that can happen in real life, so I just think it was a nice little touch to the intro. After all of that, Franklin and Lamar both leave the dealership and continue their banter on the way to Franklin's house, where he ends up parking his car in his garage, only to end up pissing off Lamar and making him feel rejected after Frank tells him that he can't come in his house, only to end up getting roasted by Lamar.
Can a low come up in your crib?
Man, fuck you. I'll see you at work.
Oh, nigga, don't hate me because I'm beautiful, nigga. Maybe if you got rid of that old yee-yee ass haircut you got, you get some bitches on your dick. Oh, better yet, maybe Tanisha will call your dog ass if she ever stop fucking with that brain surgeon, the lawyer she fucking with. Nigga, nigga, nigga.
What's actually so funny about this to me is what Lamar was saying to Frank on the way home to end up asking him if he can come inside.
Who you trying to impress?
Your auntie Denise with all that ass, nigga, she got ass.
She grown, yeah. She grown into a fucking idiot.
Nah, she's sexy.
Sexy? She more like obsessed with sex, nigga.
Nah, mad for the penis. That's exactly how I like my women.
If this is what Lamar was thinking, he probably should have just kept that to himself and made his moves on the down low, if you get what I'm saying. If he kept his mouth shut, Frank would have probably let him in and he would have got to chat up Franklin's aunt, but at least he's honest, right? After Lamar drops that bomb on Franklin, leaving him confused to say,
What?
Franklin goes inside, only to end up getting shooed away by his aunt before he can even tell her good afternoon. That just goes to show how much he actually dislikes Franklin. Frank then goes straight into his room, where he takes a big fat sleep. And that concludes the prologue and the intro. One thing that I wanted to point out is that a lot of people say that the GTA HD universe is not connected to the GTA 3D universe. If that is true, then why does Franklin have a poster of Mad Dog and also a Mad Dog music CD in his bedroom on his dresser? That what people are saying to me just doesn't make any sense, because Mad Dog is from the 3D universe and GTA 5 is in the HD universe. So if they're not connected in any way, then what you're saying, it just doesn't really make any sense, because that's a connection right there. Let me know down in the comments what you think about all of that. Now let's move on to the part where GTA 5 really gets started, because we all know that the prologue, the North Yankton stuff, the introduction to Michael, the introduction to Franklin, all of that is to just give you a taste of GTA 5 right at that moment. So after Frank wakes up and receives a call from Simeon to discuss the next repo job, he heads down to the dealership to tell Simeon that he wants to move on with his life, where Simeon interrupts Frank and lets him know that he won Employee of the Month. When Frank finally gets the chance to express himself, Simeon begins to try and convince Franklin why he should stay using his manipulation tactics. Right when Lamar walks in and interrupts Simeon as he gets updated that Frank won Employee of the Month and gets pissed off that he didn't win after all the work he's put in. Even with Franklin trying to let him know that it's all crap, Lamar still takes things to the next level.
Employee of the month.
You fucking with me, right?
Man, we both being fucked with, dog.
Man, knock it off, man. For real, after all the motherfucking work I put in, man.
Man, fuck this employee of the month shit, homie. I'm sitting up here trying
What
to
you
get
mean, fuck this employee of the month shit, man? When there's some shit to be won, goddammit, I want it. I don't give a fuck what it is. You know what I'm talking about? I take no prisoners. I go hard doing this shit. Big dog, big nuts. When names is on the motherfucking board, I want to see my name at the top of that motherfucking. Next to it, it needs to say, winner.
After that, they head off to Vespucci Beach to repossess a bike from a Vargos dude, with Frank saying that he doesn't want any unnecessary drama, as well as Lamar talking about Simeon being a funny dude and that it's gonna be a shame when they eventually rob him and cut ties with him. It made me think if Lamar was really serious about winning Employee of the Month or if he was just acting. The two buddies repossess the bike only after getting into a fight with the Vargos gang, though honestly this mission was dumb fun. Anyways, because they killed the bike owner, they can't repossess the bike. Then Lamar decides they'll keep the bike and that Frank should tell Simeon they couldn't recover it. When Frank does his next job for Simeon, that's when he gets sent to repossess the overpriced SUV that Jimmy got manipulated into buying and scammed for with Simeon's credit fraud. While Frank makes his way to Rockford Hills, Simeon lets him know over the phone that he heard Frank kept the bike for himself. But the way Simeon speaks to Frank, it sounds like Lamar pinned the blame on Franklin, as if Lamar sold him out. Probably out of jealousy for Employee of the Month. It's unclear to me why. Simeon lets him know that they'll talk about it later. Little did he know that Frank would come back crashing into the dealership after Michael DeSanta, who was hiding in the back seat of the SUV, anticipating the repossession, probably after spotting Franklin when he snuck in and forced him at gunpoint, only to end up beating the crap out of Simeon just after giving Franklin some money and letting him know that he always pays well for a job well done. One thing I wanted to mention is that this mission called Complications is also the first time we see Tracy, Michael's daughter, and also spot that Amanda, Michael's wife, has dirty business with the tennis coach. After that, we then follow Michael where he heads home to relax by his pool while ignoring his wife and daughter argue by plugging in earphones and listening to music. Right then, Franklin shows up to speak with him about how he could possibly make some money, when Michael responds by letting him know that 1, he's retired, 2, gives Franklin a quick lecture on how he can make it, and ends the lecture by telling him to go to college.
You look like a good kid. But if you want my advice, give this shit up. You work hard, screw over everybody that you love. Hurt, rob, kill indiscriminately, and maybe, just maybe if you're lucky, you become a 3-bit gangster. It's bullshit. Go to college. Then you're gonna rip people off and get paid for it.
After the extra lessons, Michael offers to buy Frank a drink that he promised him. Just as they head out, Michael receives a call from Jimmy that he's in his dad's boat and it's being stolen and taken down the highway. Also, that he was trying to sell it but the criminals don't want to pay him, they just want to take it. Which Michael lets his son know that he's coming for his boat and he heads out with Frankie boy. After some crazy chasing and exciting action, they manage to save Jimmy, but due to Amanda's car engine breaking down, they failed to retrieve Michael's boat and decided to give up and turn around and get the car fixed up. I don't know why they didn't just steal another car and continue the chase, but anyways. On the way to the mechanic, Michael and mainly Jimmy argue for a bit, with Jimmy letting him know that although he's lost his boat, he still has a son, with Mike expressing that although he loves Jimmy, all he can see right now is his boat disappearing over the horizon, and then asks Franklin to go and fix up the car for him and call him a taxi because he just wants to head home in peace, because obviously Jimmy was being annoying. This is also where Michael lets Frank know that he doesn't really go sailing. He likes to simply just go down to the dock and pour himself a drink and look at his boat and daydream, with Frank saying that Mike needs to dream other dreams. While Franklin drives Jimmy home in Amanda's fixed up ride, Jimmy tries to connect with Franklin.
I'm gonna take you home now.
It's Franklin, right?
Yeah, Franklin. Or the credit fraud guy. The home invader. You know what? Call me what you like, man.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Jimmy, ain't he? Or James?
Jimmy. Or just like, Jizzle?
When Michael gets home, he calls out to see if anyone's in. After not receiving any response, he goes outside to smoke when he notices 2 tennis rackets by the door belonging to Amanda and a tennis coach. When he realizes she might be cheating, he rushes upstairs only to catch them in the act. When Kyle, the tennis coach, tries to reason with the frustrated Michael in nothing but his underwear, he ends up jumping out the window, where Franklin arrives at the same time. And despite Amanda begging, Michael and Franklin begin to chase Kyle in a borrowed truck and end up losing him for a bit, then finding his car parked outside a nearby house. Michael makes threats to the tennis coach right before Frank ties the truck's cable wire onto the support beams, where they end up using the truck to pull down the house. While driving home, Michael receives a call letting him know that the house didn't belong to Kyle, when a crazy mad lady takes the phone letting Mike know that Martin Madrazo gave the green light, basically for him to get clapped. After Mike and Frank kill the goons sent after them and make it back to the mansion, a car pulls up in the driveway with Martin himself jumping out with some more goons, and then makes Franklin tell Michael who he is. After Mike finds out that he's messed with the wrong guy, Martin slaps Mike with a bat, letting him know that it's gonna cost around 2.5 milli to fix the house, just before Mike agrees to fix it and then gets spat on by Martin's mad out mistress. This is the catalyst that kicks off the whole story in my opinion. After this, Michael decides to postpone his retirement and calls Lester.
Hello? Is this still the number for Lester Crest?
Who's asking?
Who's asking? Who's asking?
You're awful cagey. Even for a dead man, Michael.
Ooh, you don't sound good, buddy.
Tactful and charming even in death. Come see me, old friend. I'm living in Los Santos, just like you. Murrieta Heights.
Whoa, wait. Hey, how do you... Hello? You fucker.
Then in the mission, Daddy's little girl, Michael's at home watching a movie. When Jimmy's making too much noise upstairs, Michael confronts his son over the loud TV volume.
Your entertainment, go watch porn, just go away.
Shit.
Fuck you! What the fuck?
Disrespectful little asshole.
I can't believe you did that, that's my TV!
You don't talk to me like that.
I can't believe you... Mom was right about you.
Leading to a heated argument. In an attempt to bond, Michael takes Jimmy to Vespucci Beach. During a bike ride, Jimmy reveals what Tracy's been up to. Michael, in frustration, swims to a boat where Tracy is partying, confronts her and the guys.
Whoa!
Come on, sweetheart. Take me out of here.
Dad, you're embarrassing me. These are my friends.
Yeah, you're embarrassing her, dude.
They're shooting porno here.
They shoot porno all over town. Mom rented our house to them last summer.
That was
What?
your house?
Yeah.
Man, you got a killer pad, Mr.
Isn't it awesome?
Let's go.
Those walls could talk.
You think I do it?
Hey!
No.
Hey!
Shit,
Ain't cool,
Daddy.
man.
What are you doing? Hey! Fuck, man!
I like him. You're such a jerk.
And throws their boombox and pushes one of the guys into the ocean and escapes with her on a stolen sea shark. They are then chased by the boat's owner, Freddie Slade, but eventually escape. After arriving back on land, Tracy attacks Jimmy.
You fucking asshole!
With Jimmy, then after blaming Michael, they leave together to take a taxi home after rejecting Michael's offer to drive them home, leaving Michael alone where he ends up smoking and staring out at the ocean, something he loves to do. We then switch over to Franklin and meet Chop for the first time in the mission called Chop.
Damn.
F, is that your auntie?
Yeah, thank God I missed her crazy ass. She's spirit walking this shit now, man. That's just her attempts to...
Hey, don't be talking shit about your auntie, man. She cool as a motherfucker, man. Come on.
Come where?
We gotta go pick up some shit from around the corner, man. We can walk and talk at the same time, my nigga.
Why the fuck we can't drive?
Around the block with Chop? You need to walk with your fat ass.
Where Franklin, Lamar and Chop go to Vinewood Boulevard. On the way, Franklin lets Lamar know that he met Michael and says that he wants to link him up, with Lamar saying he and Frank don't need no hookups. I find that funny down the line because they end up calling Franklin a sellout when he goes off to get rich working with Michael. They confront a guy named D, where they end up chasing him as he tries to escape on a motorcycle. Leading to a rail yard, Chop helps track down D, who is eventually captured only after Frank stops Chop from being distracted, that is. Lamar attempts a ransom call, but Franklin warns about tracing and releases D and throws the phone away. Franklin drops off Lamar and Chop and warns Lamar that he better watch out because the ballers are gonna be after him. After that, they meet Stretch, an old friend of Lamar's that Frank doesn't get along with, who's fresh from prison. I wonder if they call him Stretch because he got stretched out in prison. Anyways, Franklin, Lamar and Stretch go to Ammunition to buy weapons for a deal. They meet D at a warehouse, but it turns out to be a setup by the ballers. I don't know why Lamar would do business with a guy he tried to kidnap, but anyways, D betrays them and gets shot and killed. And even though I don't rate Stretch, I just love how he shot D in this cutscene.
Fuck you, nigga! Shit, old bitch ass ballers!
There's a massive shootout with the ballers and they fight their way out, destroy a police helicopter and escape, eventually returning to Franklin's house after losing the cops. Switching back to Michael, he goes to see Lester. This is where we as the player see Lester for the first time playing GTA 5, because Michael owes 2.5 million to Martin, so he turns to Lester for help. Catching up with Lester after 10 years no see, Lester lets Mike know that he knows what he's been up to and knows that Mike didn't sell him out with the North Yankton drama.
You need my help.
How do you know?
Because you came here. Why else would you?
I haven't been a good friend for you, Lester. I know that.
And you're gonna make it up to me by doing whatever I ask. Or rather, I mean, I need something done, you need to know something, so why not help each other?
I gotta make some dough.
So you're back in the game?
I guess. Look, Lester, about what happened before.
Oh, I know you never mentioned my name. I know I'm not on any lists anywhere. I know you never betrayed me. As for you, you gotta figure that I never told anyone. That instead of gently decomposing in North Yankton, you're angrily decomposing in Los Santos with a shrink and a wife who don't love you no more.
Lester gives Michael an explosive device and instructs him to infiltrate the Life Invader office. Michael pretends to be a tech support agent, plants the explosive in a prototype phone and leaves. Back home he watches Jay Norris reveal the prototype on TV and detonates the device remotely, killing Jay Norris instantly. The event shocks the crowd and the broadcast is abruptly cut. Michael is shocked after seeing the phone blow off Jay Norris's head. Now I wanted to let you know that in my playthrough of the PS5 version, for some reason the phone didn't blow Jay's head off.
Our hardware is compatible as possible. But you know what? They're not interested in sharing their technology.
Fuck you.
So we went and made it compatible anyway. Now you can dock your Life Invader to an iPhone or any other
Jesus.
device.
Whoa!
And it'll take all the...
Whoa!
Not sure if it's a bug or if Rockstar actually took out the animation for the PS5 version, but I didn't replay it to find out. Michael done this for Lester because in order for Lester to help rob the jewelry store, Michael had to do something in return for him. That's just the way it goes. Later on, Michael and Lester plan a heist at the Vangelico jewelry store. Michael takes photos of the store's display, ventilation, and alarm system using camera glasses. He then scouts the ventilation sources from the roof. Lester presents two heist execution options back at the garment factory when they get back there. After doing the setup, Franklin, Michael and the crew do the jewelry store heist. They enter with the gunman handling hostages. Michael and the driver grab jewelry while Franklin waits outside. The manager intervenes, a gunman handles it. The crew then escapes on bikes, using the sewer network to evade police. They reach Lester's lockup, split the take, and Franklin receives a fixed percentage. Afterward, we transition to a scene where Tanisha disapproves of Franklin's newfound wealth over the phone, and Franklin hopes to see her soon.
I don't care if you got money now. Don't you get it? That ain't what I was looking for. Not then, not now, not ever.
I know it ain't important. Just let me take you somewhere nice, all right?
Where are you? Are you in a strip club? Grow up, stop looking for the easy way.
Tanisha, I gotta go, all right? I'ma change, I promise. You won't even recognize me.
And that heist is actually one of the best missions to me because it's the first major event in GTA 5 that really blew me away, like the first time I done it. I remember going to school the next day and all the guys in my art class were talking about it and asking me if I played it and stuff like that, saying it was so sick and it was so epic. And it was just weird, like we all played the heist at the same time. That's just what it felt like. I didn't hear anyone talking about GTA 5 until I done that heist. It was so weird. After the heist, Michael goes home where he and Franklin celebrate when Dave Norton walks in freaking out about the heist.
And what about Trevor? If that fruitcake realizes, finds out you're alive, you are D-O-N-E fucked!
Don't worry about Trevor. Trevor's dead. It's gotta be.
And also the possibility of Trevor finding out about Michael being alive. Mike tries to play smart with Dave, and Dave turns on the TV with the news report showing a witness talking about what happened.
Oh, hey.
Albert's story had a lucky escape when the thieves ran straight into it.
Yeah, I was just doing my job, and I say to this guy, hey, you gotta move these bikes.
It then transitions to Trevor where he's in the middle of smashing some dirty meat when he stops smashing it after hearing the witness say Michael's familiar quote.
You forget thousands of things every day. You make sure this is one of them.
Walks outside where he's confronted by a biker from the Lost MC's gang about Trevor smashing his girl, where they carry on with their arguing until Trevor eventually snaps, shoves him over, and steps up on his head and on his face, killing Johnny. Trevor hops in his truck and drives to Grapeseed while telling Wade about Michael sending him to Los Santos to go and look for Mike. After arriving at the farm, Trevor lets some bikers know that he murdered Johnny, where they end up driving off and getting chased by Trevor in his truck. When they arrive at Stab City, Trevor takes out a good portion of the bikers and crushes his competition in the region so he can make more money selling guns and drugs with his TPI business, Trevor Phillips Industries. When Trevor gets home, he learns that his trailer was ransacked by the Lost MC, infuriating him, especially after seeing his broken impotent rage statue. As soon as Wade walks in, he steps back out of the trailer in a weird way, as if he didn't expect to see Trevor in his own home. Anyways, Trevor goes on to coerce Wade into finding Michael. Then he and Ron plan to hijack planes carrying weapons, landing at Sandy Shores airfield. He gets a sniper rifle from Ammunition, meets Ron at a water tower, and eliminates a bunch of bikers while covering Ron at the airfield. Ron plants a bomb and Trevor shoots down a hostile helicopter. The Lost MC bikers discover what's going on and retaliate. Just as Ron gets in the plane, Trevor lies on the plane wing while at the same time defending Ron's escape by spraying down some bikers with an AK. After driving the plane out of the hangar, Trevor takes another plane and he and Ron both escape the airfield. Once they take off, there's a gang member holding onto the wing of Trevor's plane. Can someone explain what he was trying to achieve by doing that? Why was that guy so dumb? Was he on drugs or just crazy? Even Trevor or Lamar wouldn't attempt something like that. I really want to know what happened to self-preservation. That's just pure NPC behavior for the spectacle, because that doesn't make any sense to me. Ron and Trevor avoid military detection by flying low until they eventually drop the merchandise into boats offshore where they get sent to Mexico. Trevor and Ron then fly to a different airfield in Grapeseed where Trevor pulls off a simian and convinces Ron to give Trevor his share of the cut. What a greedy dickhead. You know, Trevor is so random. It's like 1 minute he has values and he's not really all about the money, like he actually cares about the people that are around him, and then the next minute he just does something that contradicts it. Like, not even just that, just other stuff as well. Trevor's so random, man. You can't study that guy. Trevor then goes on to meet Tao Cheng and his translator at a bar.
Your acquaintance.
Oh yeah, he seems it.
我说人事，你真是太好了哦！你有空就加的来分飞的我，这真是我人生中最美好的一
What the
刻。
fuck is wrong with him?
就是这个，来。
I'm out.
No, don't go! Please!
While Trevor brings the prospective buyers to show them the operation, Chef calls him and warns Mr. Phillips about an Aztecas attack on the meth lab. Trevor locks Cheng and the translator in a freezer, fights off the Aztecas and releases them afterwards. Cheng's translator refuses to negotiate and leaves with Tao. You know, looking at this cutscene, the guy who picks up the Chinese guys actually looks like one of the O'Neill brothers. I say this because Trevor confronts Tao and his interpreter at the Yellow Jack Inn, learns that they're working with the O'Neill brothers. He gets furious, then drives to the O'Neill ranch where he attacks the O'Neill brothers while threatening Elwood on the way there. He assaults the guards, destroys the meth lab, and sets the house on fire before leaving. And I ain't gonna lie, I love this mission just for the spectacle alone. Trevor learns about Michael DeSanto's whereabouts in Los Santos, congratulates Wade with punches, and heads to the city. Just before he leaves the desert, Trevor destroys the Lost MC's trailer park and drives to Vespucci Beach to stay in an apartment owned by Wade's cousin Floyd and his fiancée.
Ain't smoke here and you can't stay here. How's it going, cousin? It's been a while. Yeah, I ain't seen you since you was caught in Evelyn's bed.
A guy was never proved.
You gotta go, both of you. My girlfriend, she'd kill me if she knew I had guests.
Well, it's not much of a girlfriend if she don't like your family. Now, would you get me a fucking drink? I'm not gonna ask you again.
Oh, yeah, okay. Wait, I ain't got no booze.
Then you go out and fucking get me something. You go too.
Later on, Trevor unexpectedly arrives at Michael's house, leading to tensions.
Ain't this grand? Yeah, well, I got in a bit of an awkward situation.
You're telling me, bro. Yeah. One of those fake your own deaths to your best buddy, and then run off with the dough, and then live in a big mansion. Awkward situations.
It's one way of looking at it.
Yeah, do you have any other ways of looking at it? 'Cause I am all out.
They discover Tracy is auditioning for Fame or Shame, where she performs provocatively. Choosing to settle things later, Michael and Trevor intervene. On the way there, DeSanta and Phillips have a quick catch-up session. It's funny how Trevor was kinda telling Mike not to let his daughter become a laughingstock, but they end up watching her make a fool of herself for a bit on camera before they end up stealing a truck and chasing Laszlo through Los Santos. They end up cornering him in the drains, where Trevor forces Laszlo to dance without pants and warns him not to touch Tracy again, humiliating him. Then they part ways. Michael receives a call from Dave Norton instructing him to meet at the Galileo Observatory. The thing about this mission is that it shows how Trevor can actually be a bad influence for Michael, or not really a bad influence, more like the fuel to Michael's flame. That's if he decides he wants to live a normal life, because Trevor isn't a normal person. But at the same time, he tried living a normal life even without Trevor, and he still ended up doing bullshit, so I guess it could be seen in different ways. But Michael is still messed up at the end of the day, so I'm not going to put the blame on Trevor. Well, not all of it at least. When DeSanta meets up with Dave, he asks Michael to confirm the death of someone, that person being Mr. K, in the morgue. Michael agrees and is knocked out by Dave. Waking up in the morgue, Michael surprises the examiners, checks the corpse, and discovers a mislabeled body. He calls Dave, who instructs him to escape. Michael fights his way through the guards, retrieves his clothes and weapons, escapes the morgue, and evades the cops. He meets Franklin at the oil derricks, where Michael urges Franklin to leave town to avoid danger from the FIB.
Hey, Franklin.
What's going on?
You gotta get out of town.
Man, I ain't exactly got nowhere to go.
Well, then take a trip. A long trip.
What the fuck is going on?
Things, all right? Look, you remember I told you I know people? Feds who looked after me when I retired?
You did?
Yeah, I did. I think I did. I don't know. Shit, Jesus Christ, Franklin. I got so many stories, I can't even keep them straight. I'm full of shit.
Yeah, but your full of shit got me a lot of paper. One score with you, I made more money than I ever did hustling.
Oh, yeah, I'm a great thief, but it's the other shit that I ain't got figured out.
So what's the deal, man? What's the deal with the Bureau, man?
This clown, he's an okay guy, fucking cocksucker. We did a deal a long time ago. Didn't go quite the way it was supposed to go. Wrong guy got killed. So I had to go into kind of an informal witness protection program. He helped me, I didn't reveal secrets of his, and everything was cool. The problem started when recently I became unretired. He shows up, starts calling in favors, telling me to do shit. Look, Franklin, I'm working for the fucking feds.
Oh, fuck, man.
Oh, fuck, man, yeah, and that ain't even the worst part. I ever tell you about Trevor?
Man, I think so, shit.
Well, if you only think so, then I wasn't being completely honest. He's, hell walking on earth. That's what he is.
Well, let's bury this motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, good luck with that.
Shit.
Trevor and I got history. Complicated fucking history. Look, I've done a lot of things that I ain't proud of. Okay, I never claimed to be an angel. But you meet Trevor, Franklin, you'll swear I am an angel.
So what's the mood then, man?
I don't know. Fuck. I'm just gonna, try to play both sides. Until I can find a way out of this shit.
All right, man, look, man, you help me. Way I see it, man, the least I can do is help you.
It's a death sentence, Franklin.
Man, I ain't trying to hear all that shit, man. If the Bureau ain't gonna take you to court, them motherfuckers just hustlers anyway. And I ain't finna let no motherfucking cat think he's so motherfucking crazy run me up a tree. Fuck that.
Hey, you're a good kid, Franklin. This means a lot to me. Like I told you, I'm a terrific thief. I'll find something for you. Big. Now, come on. You better take off.
All right, man, I'm with you.
Franklin promises loyalty and then leaves. Not town, but the oil derricks. Some time passes, and then Michael meets up with and is coerced by Steve Haynes to extract Mr. K from the IAA headquarters. He recruits Trevor and Franklin for the mission. This is also the first time Trevor met Franklin, and the first mission that the three main characters complete together. Trevor warns Franklin about Michael's snaky ways, then after going over the plan, Trevor flies a helicopter, Michael performs the extraction, and Franklin provides sniper support. This mission really shows off how cool of a gameplay feature character switching really is. Too bad you can't do stuff like this in the free roam, because that would have really added some strategy to the overall fun and chaos in free roam. The whole mission overall, especially with the rappelling, is just super cool in my opinion. They successfully rescue Mr. K, fend off the IAA agents, and deliver him to the FIB. Afterward, Michael and Trevor part ways. When Mike and Trevor meet Steve again at the warehouse, where they are joined by Dave Norton and Devin Weston, Haynes reveals the need to assassinate a guy tied to terrorism. Michael and Norton investigate the leads, while Trevor tortures the informant, Mr. K, for information. After multiple rounds of torture, they identify the guy and Michael assassinates him. Haynes orders Trevor to kill Mr. K, but Trevor instead sets him free, advising him to leave Los Santos and become an anti-torture advocate. Trevor drops Mr. K at the airport and leaves. This mission is straight up one of the darkest missions, if not the darkest mission in the whole game. Torture ain't no joke, bro. With that being said, for some strange reason, it's actually one of the funniest missions in the whole game. I don't know why. Don't ask me. I always just end up laughing when I'm playing it.
Where you want it?
No, man! Be gentle! Not the wrench! I'm bruised!
The breaker! I guess our interrogation techniques were a little too advanced. In his heart?
What happened?
I think it's just the way Mr. K reacts and just the way he talks. I don't know, bro, but I just can't stop laughing whenever I play that mission. I think it's just the way Trevor is talking to the guy and the guy's talking back to Trevor. I don't know, bro, but it's just funny. Trevor coerces Floyd to help investigate a mysterious ship at the port of Los Santos guarded by Merryweather security. They dress as dock employees and use a dock handler to move containers, load them onto trailers, and take photos of the ship. Later, they go to Los Santos Naval Port, where Trevor steals a shipping manifest. Back at the apartment, they choose the heist method. I think this mission, scouting the port, and the yoga mission are probably two of the worst missions in GTA 5. After doing the setups, and Trevor asks Mike and Frank to help him steal the super weapon, they end up doing it successfully. But as soon as they do, Lester shows up and warns them about the danger it will put them in if they don't return it.
Yes, I should be. I would be if certain known associates weren't busy making themselves enemies of the state. The FIB, Merryweather, IAA, you could fuck with them all day long. But when you try and steal an experimental super weapon and sell it to the Chinese, you and everyone you ever knew is gonna be fucked in the ass, you fucking chumps! If that thing doesn't go back, then we will all end up on every watch list in the entire planet.
Watch list? So fucking what?
So they don't watch, they kill. Idiot, we'll all be dead within a week. Think! All right, listen. Take the truck, take a guy, do what you gotta do.
This is also the first time Trevor meets Lester after the North Yankton drama, and overall this heist kinda sucks because it was all for nothing. They risked their lives for literally no reason at all. We then switch over to Michael, where he's having a bad evening with Amanda, cussing him and complaining about Trevor showing up. This made me think that she was part of the reason Mike sold out Trevor in North Yankton. Maybe she threatened Mike back in the day with her toxic behavior. Anyways, after a strange and, in my opinion, annoying yoga session with Fabian, Michael confronts him for getting dirty with his wife and falls into the pool with help from Fabian. Then getting upset, Amanda leaves with Fabian, then Mike seeks solace with Jimmy, leading to a drug-fueled experience. Waking up in his underwear, Michael discovers Amanda left with the kids, and Jimmy took $5,000 from his account and also took his car. Wait, we need to pause right there. Do you see what's wrong with that? Jimmy took $5,000 from his account as well as his car, right? I think that's why Michael's family turned out the way they did. Like, he needed to have a tighter grip on his money, in my opinion. Like, maybe he was just too kind to them. He'd probably just let them do whatever they want with his money, especially his wife, man. He needed to have a tighter grip on his money, be more strict. How can they just access $5,000 like that? That's where he went wrong, in my opinion. I mean, feel free to disagree with me, but that's what I believe. He should have just gave them money, like maybe on their birthdays, and just got them whatever they need and let them work for what they want. And especially his wife. His wife shouldn't be so idle, man. But at the end of the day, he was probably held at ransom by his wife, because maybe she would have snitched on him if he didn't always give her money to do whatever she wants, and maybe if he was stricter, like maybe she would have ended up snitching on him. I believe she possibly could have done that, and that would make sense why he was so loose with his money. Anyway, switching over to Franklin, he goes to his home in South Los Santos, where he sees Lamar coming out of the house. I assume Lamar finally got to smash the meat. It's right there, Lamar and his aunt basically begin to call Mr. Clinton a sellout.
They're put in this yard.
Why? It's half my house.
Now I'ma call the police.
For what?
Disloyalty, boy.
Disloyalty? What is you talking about?
Don't act like you don't know what it is, homeboy. Yo, you ain't been to the set, ain't came to none of the meetings.
Hanging out with old men, ignoring your homies, acting all superior? Your mama would turn over in her grave, boy.
So you giving me a lecture about not being a good enough gangbanger?
Gangs is positive. That's all we got, my nigga. That's our heritage.
Ain't nothing positive about your crazy ass. Man, where Tanisha at?
She got more sense than to hang out with your sorry ass. You know you always been like this, boy. I say left, you say right. I say become a doctor. You say become a patient.
Trevor shows up unexpectedly at his house and ends up sweet talking his aunt, giving her $7 where she complains and Trevor runs her.
I say, who is that?
Hello, Missy. Wow, Franklin. You never told me that you had a sister.
I'm Denise, Franklin's housemaid.
And aunt, my mother's old dried up ass sister.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, shut the fuck up! Here, darling. Why don't you go get yourself something nice, okay?
Thank you. Is it $7?
I said something nice, not expensive. You want to be a greedy fucking cow, huh? No. Now get the fuck out of here, all right?
You men are all the same.
Lamar, Trevor, and Frank then get into a failed drug deal with the Ballers.
Service. Package to collect.
You got the grip?
Present and accounted for. You like that, huh?
Sample?
Now we talking. My throat getting numb already.
So we good, nigga, right? Well, let's go.
How about a taste?
No, man, we leaving.
I want a taste of the other side of the brick.
Now, you heard what your boy said. You're leaving.
Hey, give me the back! Whoa.
What the fuck?
Did we ask for a key or a fucking ounce?
Man, that's motherfucking drywall.
Hey, we got some motherfucking buyer's remorse out here.
You can't fucking hustle a hustler!
The supposed drugs turn out to be fake. They find that out thanks to Trevor, and the trio faces gunfire from the Ballers. A chaotic gunfight and escape ensues. And man, look at Chop go. It's like after Frank told Chop to run, he took off and didn't look back. This mission is so crazy, stupid, and funny at the same time. Lamar really needs his own DLC, his own show, his own Netflix show, or something like that. Trust me. Moving on, they get involved in a police chase, then attempt to get away on jet skis. Side note, there are multiple outcomes to this mission, but I chose to switch over to Trevor for the ending to see him and Lamar's friendship grow for this playthrough, which was more interesting to me at the moment as opposed to sticking with Franklin. Later on, Lester teaches Franklin how to manipulate the stock market by assassinating a scandalous CEO of Bilkington Research. Franklin can choose to kill the guy with a sniper rifle or by blowing up his car. After the hit, Franklin escapes the scene and contacts Lester. Lester reveals their successful investments, and as a reward, Franklin receives a free house in Vinewood Hills, relieving him from living with his aunt Denise. That must have felt so good. good. I'm telling you, bro. That lady is so toxic towards Franklin. After Franklin moves uptown, Steve Haynes and Dave Norton get Michael, Franklin, and Trevor to plan an armored truck heist to steal some money that they say corrupt officials are going to use to fund crime in Los Santos.
Oh, you're good. The three cunts.
Listen, we need help with something else. Some of the government, some of it is pretty corrupt.
Not your bit, right?
Yes, but we're corrupt in a good way.
But the agency, they want to encourage panic so they can guarantee their budgets. That's how they get paid.
It's a major problem.
And now they've secured some funds that we need to use in our fight against crime as a way of bribing corrupt officials.
Really? And where are they getting that from?
Drugs. Those bastards love to sell drugs.
Who doesn't, right?
Steve is such a dickhead. I hate that guy so much, man. Anyways, they acquire the necessary tools that they need for the heist. When the robbery begins, Trevor acts as a lookout, Michael blocks the road with a garbage truck, and Franklin crashes into the armored vehicle with a tow truck. After the crash, they plant explosives, trigger a police response, and engage in a shootout with the police. The team escapes, Franklin blows up the garbage truck, and Michael agrees to work with Devin Weston on a film project after refusing his initial offer as a reward for stealing some expensive cars for him.
There you go. Boom! So long, motherfucker! Devin Weston.
I remember you. The weekend interrogator. Invest wisely.
Hey, hold on. We're not done here yet. I got a job for you, bro. 5 top quality scores. Big ticket cars. Major payday, bro.
Sounds great. I got just the guy for you. I'll put you in touch.
No. I don't want just some dude. I want you. I want your crew. I want pros on this.
I don't give a fuck what you want, pencil neck. I'll let them know you're interested.
I guess I just got you figured wrong, man.
Hey, what's the figure?
Tell me something. You like football? I got a stake in a sports investment venture. You like the market? I got some funds you can manage. Name your poison, man.
I just like sitting around watching old movies.
Oh, there we go. How about I hook you up with Solomon Richards?
Bullshit. Solomon Richards, the movie producer?
Yeah, he's retiring, man, and I'm doing a finance deal for his studio. I will make the connect just as soon as you...
Alright.
Michael, Trevor, and Franklin then go on to work for Devin Weston to steal high-end cars. Franklin races 2 trust fund kids to distract them while Michael and Trevor, disguised as cops, intercept the race. They take the cars and drop them off at Hayes Autos. Weston informs them about the next job and mentions potential work with the film producer Solomon Richards, leaving Michael eager for future opportunities. Continuing their grand mission to steal all these top-end cars for Devin Weston, Trevor arrives in a police Maverick at the FIB lot where Franklin is waiting. The helicopter equipped with a special camera is flown over parts of the city where they use the camera to identify individuals with RFID transmitters in driver licenses. They are searching for Chad Mulligan, owner of the Z-type car needed for Devin Weston's plan. Once Mulligan is found, Trevor tracks him using the camera and guides Franklin to capture him. Franklin has the option to spare or kill Mulligan, but you better put a bullet in that guy because why not? Franklin then delivers the Z-type to Weston at the Los Santos International Airport. Weston promises payment once the other 2 cars are acquired and advises Franklin to distance himself from Michael and Trevor.
You know, if this beauty was a woman, I'd have to break my 20 and under rule.
Man, I'll just stick to driving, all right?
Hey, tell me something. You know how many of these things they made?
Shit, like 10?
No, not like 10, man. Exactly 10.
Oh, wow, man. You one of them type of dudes, huh?
Tell you something. How'd you like to drive a car like this one day, man? For real.
Like this? Or this?
Oh, man, right back at me, homie. Really nice. Hey, you know something? You're not like those snowbird retiree pals of yours. You are sharp, man.
Man, I'm just looking for a paycheck for my services.
No, don't worry. It'll come. That'll come. But right now, it is life lesson time, pal. You have got to wake up to what's real in this situation, bro. Take me, right? I am opportunity. I'm security. I'm fast cars, blow jobs. I got the world on a plate. Those 2 clowns, oh man, they are the worst kind of disaster that can ever come down. They are a full core meltdown, and you're just standing there soaking up major radiation. You have got to take stock, man. Make that call before it's too late.
Yeah, all right, man. I will.
Before it's too late, man.
Yeah.
Just take any car and go.
Michael, then finally getting his wish granted, gets to visit the Backlot City movie studio to resolve issues on Solomon Richards' film Meltdown. Rocco, the new agent for star Milton McElroy, as well as the film's director, are causing trouble. Solomon asks Michael to convince them to return to the film. Michael stealthily infiltrates the location in Isla Santos, engages in a fistfight with Rocco, then persuades McElroy and the director to resume filming by flying wildly in a helicopter. The trio returns to Backlot City and the actors agree to continue working on the film. Later on, Michael and Trevor are hired by Martin Madrazo to eliminate his cousin, who plans to testify against him. Michael shoots down Javier's plane using a mounted rifle, and Trevor chases its descent on a Sanchez. After the crash, Trevor kills Javier and retrieves sensitive documents. Michael, now driving a van, destroys it, heads to meet Trevor, but Trevor reveals he has kidnapped Madrazo's wife.
The fuck has happened? Why did he have his car?
Piece of turd, huh? No wonder people are stabbing him in the back.
What happened?
Cheap bastard. You know, I really don't know why you mess around with people like that, Mike. I mean, really, I don't.
Answer a fucking question.
I asked for a fair day's pay after a fair day's work. Then he kind of got a little angry. So I admit, I kind of got a little angry.
Did you kill him?
What kind of fucking animal do you take me for? No, I didn't kill him.
Oh, fuck.
But I did kidnap his wife.
Oh, no. Oh, shit. The fuck did you do?
Oh, I just told you what I just did. Now,
oh, shit.
Unfortunately, I think that we're gonna have to lay low for a little while we discuss things with Martin.
Oh, you think?
Why don't you hop in the back? All right, now, Patricia. She already called shotgun. Now, I know a nice little place we can hang out. You know, it's a very relaxing little spot. A little getaway, if you will. A cabin in the woods. You know what I'm saying.
His wife, causing them to hide in Sandy Shores. Now, I think this mission was kinda epic still. I ain't gonna lie, I really enjoyed this mission, especially the first time I done it. This is another one of those missions that really knock it out of the park when it comes to spectacle. At least for the first time you do it. With Mike and Trevor now hiding in the desert, Franklin searches for Michael at his house, only to discover he's in Sandy Shores with Trevor. When Trevor learns of a potential plot involving Merryweather and a weapons cache, he, with Ron's help, flies a Duster to intercept a Merryweather cargo plane. Ignoring warnings, Trevor crashes into the cargo bay. For some reason, I get strong Uncharted vibes with this mission, and I'm also wondering why the agents didn't have a parachute on, even after seeing Trevor moving funny and giving him warnings. When he boards the plane, he fights Merryweather agents and takes control, then shortly after gets intercepted by fighter jets.
Attention Merryweather jet, we're under orders to escort you to base. Change course or we will engage.
Or you could diddle yourself!
Trevor refuses to comply with their orders, leading to the cargo plane's destruction. He parachutes to safety as it crashes into the Alamo Sea. The thing about this mission now, this is just another one of those missions for spectacle, you get me? Because this mission just doesn't feel real to me. It just feels so fake. And I do like the mission, don't get it wrong, I like the mission, but it just feels fake. It doesn't feel authentic to me. But that's one thing I see throughout GTA 5. Like, some parts of it just don't feel authentic. That's why it's not my favorite GTA story. You get me? That and a few more things, like the fact that it has multiple protagonists when I'm somebody who just prefers one. And a lot of the things in the story, I mean, they just don't feel very serious. GTA 5 is a comedy. Anyways, Michael, Trevor, and FIB agents Haynes and Norton then go on to plan a heist for, as Dave likes to put it, government funding, so that they can buy equipment to go on another mission to steal nerve gas. Needing a lot of money for the helicopter and other equipment, Michael calls Lester, where he suggests robbing the Blaine County Savings Bank in Palito Bay. They meet up, but before they do, while on the way to meet Lester in Palito, Mike and Trevor bicker amongst each other pretty much the whole way there. They then investigate police response times, triggering an alarm by having Michael shoot it, and assess the situation. Trevor steals a bike and rides back separately in fear of getting caught by police after hearing him state on the radio that they're gonna set up checkpoints along the freeway. And Mike, Lester and T then head back to the meth lab by taking a route through the mountains. Once they get back, Lester sets up the heist board and they choose a gunman. The team then gets ready for the upcoming bank bank robbery by stealing military equipment in a setup. Meanwhile, Franklin pursues the O'Neill brothers, leading to a crash in Raton Canyon, and lets the others know. The O'Neills escape into the woods, where Trevor and Michael head to Sandy Shores airfield to get T's chopper and fly to Franklin's location. Michael snipes 2 O'Neills, but Elwood remains hidden. Franklin, guided by Chop, finds and kills Elwood. The trio reunites at Sandy Shores airfield and goes on to do the Palito score. The crew, after robbing the Palito Bay Bank, faces heavy police and military resistance. They escape using a dozer that Franklin provides and reach the Clock and Bell factory. The trio then boards a train to Sandy Shores, where that dickhead Agent Sanchez takes most of the loot, leaving around 1.75 million for Michael, Trevor and Franklin. After that, they split up to evade the authorities, with Trevor and Franklin driving off and Michael staying behind. I love how in this heist, just before they step outside the bank, the police think that they're gonna get the upper hand and plan to kill Mike and T even if they surrender, but they step out fully equipped with armor and a minigun, shocking the police and absolutely destroy them. It was like instant karma. The presentation of this heist, especially with the music and the tanks, just makes it feel so epic even after so many years later. We then transition to Ron as he steps in and tries to bully Michael. This is just so funny simply because of Ron being the cowardly, nervous guy he is, until Michael puts him in his place.
Trevor about? He's probably out somewhere drinking human blood or eating household pets.
He's not that bad.
Really?
Well, okay, he is pretty bad. But he's got a sensitive side.
Oh, yes, he's very sensitive. When he gets his feelings hurt, he's devastated. So what's your story?
I ain't got a story. I'm an independent thinker. Living out here away from the man. From what I can tell, you're like a high school athlete. Living off old glories. You used to be able to manage heat. And now you're worried if your loafers are getting scuffed.
Any more bullshit comes out of your mouth, you're gonna learn all about my past glories firsthand. You understand?
Absolutely, sir. That came out wrong, all wrong.
Ron then informs Trevor about Merryweather transporting precious cargo by train, and Trevor enlists Michael's help to steal it. Trevor then goes on to jump on the moving train, knocks out the conductor, and bypasses Merryweather at Palito Bay. The perspective then shifts to Michael wearing a scuba suit, sailing a dinghy. Trevor crashes the train into another train on a bridge, causing chaos. Trevor and Michael fend off Merryweather forces, retrieve the artifact from a container, and escape in the dinghy. Michael proposes giving the artifact to Madrazo and returning his wife to seek forgiveness so that he can stop hiding and go back to his home in Los Santos, in exchange for an alliance with Trevor for a heist on the Union Depository.
You give me that case, I'll give you something bigger.
What?
Union Depository.
Fuck off. Can't be done.
I never said impossible. Just very difficult.
Verging suicidal?
That a line you're afraid to cross? Come on, T. You remember the dreams? Couple kids pulling jobs, the big one. I know it sounded crazy back then, huh? But hey, you and me together again. With Lester and Franklin on board, we can do this thing, T. This ain't no dream no more. Hey. You keep the case.
Fuck me. Okay, hey! All right. Here. Keep that silly fucking thing. And you can keep Patricia as well, all right? Because I respect that lady and I ain't gonna hold her back.
Thank you.
Just remember, I'm gonna be keeping my eye on you every inch of the way, all right?
Of course.
And if that bastard fucking cheats on her one more time, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
You know, Trevor, we both know you're not the marrying kind. But hey, it's great to be back in business, huh? Let's bring it on.
The big one! The big one!
Trevor agrees and Michael departs with the artifact. Later on, Michael, Trevor and Franklin, along with FIB agents Haynes and Norton, then go on to steal a weapon from the Humane Labs. Infiltrating the lab, Michael grabs the weapon amid chaos. After making it out the lab, Trevor flies by in a chopper, picks up the chemical weapon and transports it to Sandy Shores, while Haynes injures himself and stays behind to pretend he was a double agent. Then Michael and Dave meet up with Franklin until Dave separates from the two and Michael receives a message from Lester telling him that everything is cool with Martin Madrazo.
What's this? Oh, fucking A. Yes!
What's up, man?
My days in the wilderness are over. Lester, he settled up with that crazy Mexican motherfucker. Gave him the artifact. Now, as long as Trevor handles the wife, we're good.
But what about him, man?
And fuck him. He likes the desert. Besides, we do one big score, we're all gonna have to go our own separate ways anyway. Oh, man. I can't wait to get back to that movie studio.
Yo, all right, man. Well, shit, I'll holler at you later then, all right?
What a shit show. I'll tell you what, you could take this desert and stick it. My life may be a world of pain, but from here on out, it's gonna be cool, comfortable, air-conditioned pain.
While Trevor reluctantly returns Patricia to Madrazo's ranch, Trevor then leaves Patricia and threatens Madrazo. I can't believe Trevor banged up Martin like that. It seems like Martin is scared of Trevor as well. And that's funny because of how Frank and Mike are scared of Martin. Anyways, Patricia heads into the house and Trevor drives off and goes on to confront Floyd and Deborah at their apartment, resulting in a heated argument. After they tell him to leave, he decides to stay and start acting like some crazy victim, talking about his daddy issues.
You to leave right now!
Oh yeah, some serious corporate gangbanging going on, right? Yeah, with every executive and director of communications from here to Bangalore taking it left, right, and center in the name of team training, right? I mean, now that's what Floyd told me yesterday as he was staring at my penis.
I want you to leave now!
Look, this is all I've got, all right? I had a tough upbringing. My daddy was not nice to me, okay? Now look, Deborah, I love you, and I love you too, Floyd. Why can't we all just be together, huh? You can have Mondays through Thursdays. You can have the weekends, all right? I know that's not normal, but in this crazy, crazy world, is normal so good, huh? Look, Deborah, Floyd, will you marry me?
Get out of my condo! And you go too, Floyd! I told you! I've got a career! I don't need this crap!
Yes!
There. You made me swear. You're crap, Floyd. Crap! You're not a man at all. Bob's right about you.
Oh, who's Bob?
I want both of you to go now. You and your weird friend.
Whoa! Hey! My name is Trevor, sweetheart.
I could give a fuck what your fucking name is. I'm not afraid to use this. I'm not. Bob taught me.
Fuck Bob! You people are not very fucking nice!
The situation then escalates. Deborah pulls out a gun and Floyd gets a knife. Then it transitions to a scene where Trevor, covered in blood, leaves as Wade arrives. It's unclear if Trevor actually killed them, but I, along with many others, would assume and agree that he did. I would have loved to see how he escaped that situation, but I imagine he probably grabbed Deborah, took the gun from her, and shot them both. Trevor and Wade go to the Vanilla Unicorn strip club, where Trevor takes over by killing Leon, the club manager. Later, Michael learns of Trevor's actions and agrees to meet at the strip club to plan his next heist. Trevor, Michael, Franklin, and Lester all meet at the strip club to plan the heist of the Union Depository.
So what's going on here?
What's going on is the big one. A long, long time ago in a faraway place, there were 3 guys. Michael, Trevor, and Lester.
And Brad.
Yeah, sure, Brad was there sometimes as well. I mean, there were other guys, though, too. So, anyway, we, robbed and lied and we hurt people. Pretty much lived a low-life kind of existence. But always dreaming of one thing and one thing only.
The big one. The big one.
The big one!
What is the big one?
The Union Depository.
Around 200 million in gold bricks, all taken from kindly Uncle Sam, who will spend the rest of our lives being hunted by government officials if we live through the attempt. But it'll be our masterpiece. So, gentlemen, let's do our civic duty and get out there and find some gainful employment. This way. Let's go. Big one.
Michael and Franklin gather information while Trevor and Lester follow the trucks through downtown and a tunnel. Just after having a conversation with Trevor asking Lester about a mission to bust Brad out of prison. At this point, Trevor still doesn't know that Brad is actually dead and that Michael and Dave's plan back in North Yankton was to actually kill Trevor and have Brad sent to prison. Lester then scouts the area so that he can make plans for the heist. Then the mission wraps up with Franklin asking Michael about what really happened in North Yankton, with Mike dodging his question. Later on, Trevor visits Michael and reveals his plan to free Brad from prison, leading to an argument with Michael.
Man, we are back, all right? All we gotta go do is bust out Brad and then we're golden, man. Franklin, he makes us multicultural. Lester makes it cyber. We're like modern America. We just get ourselves a gay friend. Bam!
No, it's not it. I got money. It just makes you miserable. I want to make movies.
Great. It's great. And, so where exactly does this leave me in the second act of your life?
We're gonna do this last big job, and then we're gonna dissolve the partnership.
This is not a game to me! All right, this is a fucking way of life.
I got a fucking family!
Yeah, well, I got nothing! No one gives a fuck about me!
I do.
Oh, fuck you! I saw your grave. I mourned you. And then it turns out that everything I fucking thought about you was wrong. Everything. You're not dead, and you're not a man.
Well, what the fuck are you?
I'm your fucking nightmare!
Yeah, enough with your goddamn threats!
Let me just ask you something, all right? Something I've been thinking about. Up in North Yankton, exactly who was buried in your place?
I never gave it any thought.
You know what I'm thinking?
I had no clue.
You treacherous piece of shit! You're fucking dead! You're fucking dead!
Suspicious, Trevor demands to know who's buried in Michael's place at the North Yankton grave. Both travel to North Yankton separately, revealing flashbacks to the prologue. Trevor discovers Brad's body in the grave, leading to a standoff with Michael.
That's ridiculous.
How long are you gonna keep lying for, Mikey, huh? When's it gonna stop? What happens in the dark comes out in the light.
Oh, give it a rest, Trevor. There's nothing there.
This is it. Moment of truth. As if I didn't know. Brad!
Look, we do what we gotta do to survive. This thing, it didn't work out the way it was supposed to.
Oh, how was that, huh? With Brad in the can and me in the ground, or both of us in the coffin?
Brad got shot. You saw it. He didn't make it. I got shot. I did. That's it.
I think the only thing that didn't go as planned was me showing up on your doorstep 10 years later. Mikey, I mourned you.
And I missed you. But I got a fucking family, Trevor. We were all gonna die. He did die.
You reptilian motherfucker!
I didn't want it to come to this.
Yes, you did! You just don't have the fucking balls to do it! But I do!
I got more to lose than you.
Never a truer word has been spoken, brother. Now pull the fucking trigger! You ain't got the guts.
Take the fucking shot!
Who is that? Fuck! Fuck!
Imagine Michael following Trevor all the way out to North Yankton just to end up lying to Trevor's face by telling him there's nothing in the grave. Also, I think it's kind of weird that Trevor tells Mike to take the shot but none of them shoot each other. Then Trevor throws a gun at Michael's head and that's when Michael finally has the guts to shoot at him. Probably missed deliberately because based on Michael's in-game ability and love for the sniper rifle, I assume that he's a marksman but probably missed from being dizzy after getting hit in the head, but I doubt it. The triads capture Michael and Trevor receives a call from Chang who threatens Michael's life. Trevor dismisses the threat, hangs up and heads back to Sandy Shores. Trevor then receives a call from Lamar who stole the final car on Devin Weston's list. Franklin and Trevor meet Lamar, load the car onto the Packer and head to the drop-off. During the long drive, Trevor and Lamar discuss various topics. As they approach the drop-off, police chase them. Franklin uses weapons on a car he stole from a movie set to fend off the police. After losing the cops, they reach the drop-off, but Weston's assistant Molly reveals that Weston won't pay until the heat dies down. Franklin is then left frustrated, and who wouldn't be?
Oh, you want me to collect this big ass check? Oh, for sure, I got that.
Hello, Franklin.
Yeah, where Devin at? Somewhere meditating or ripping somebody off?
In light of the drama your efforts caused, we felt it was not perhaps the best idea for you two to be seen together for a while.
Where's the money?
Mr. Weston is one of the most brilliant investors the world has ever known. He's obviously a maverick, but he's also rigorous in his research.
Yeah, he may be brilliant. Look, let me be the first to tell you. He ain't gonna fall in love with your ass. Now where the fuck is my money?
The best thing that could have happened to you in this situation has happened. He is going to hold your money, invest it in his Alpha Fund, and make the funds available to you at a time as the transfer will not induce any undue attention.
Which is a polite way of saying I'm getting robbed? Are you fucking kidding me?
Following Michael's disappearance, Franklin contacts Lester and they deduce Michael has been abducted. Lester advises Franklin to meet Trevor for information.
What's up, homie, huh? Oh. Oh. Is that how you act, huh? When a friend makes a mistake, huh?
No,
really?
Man.
Oh,
no.
What? Oh, so what? It's just me getting hurt? Is that funny?
No,
huh?
man.
Well, fuck you! I'm gonna put you in the fucking ground. You laugh at me again.
Man, calm down.
I have met a lot of assholes in my life, but you, oh, you're not long for this world if this is the way you fucking act. You little jumped up motherfucker!
Look, how about this, man? Calm down. It was funny at first, man. I made a mistake. Unfortunately, man, you failed. It was funny, all right? I apologize.
I accept your apology. Okay? All right, so let's hug it out. Mm-hmm. Nah! Right? Yeah,
So
fucking
funny,
gotcha! Oh, fuck, no, I'm not funny. Fucking asshole! Oh, fuck, I had a difficult childhood.
Damn, man, you all right?
I'm just fucking on edge, you know? Look, I love you, right? But I would've just fucking...
Look, man, Lester said you had some information for us about Michael.
Michael, fuck Michael, I hope he's dead.
Man, I know y'all two, man, come on, man. You two had beef before, but what the fuck happened in North Yankton? Somebody pinched him, man. Who?
My friend Ron met these Chinese assholes. They're from Yangshan in China. We had some problems. They mistakenly thought Michael was a human being and kidnapped him.
Yeah, and now it looks like they holding him somewhere in the city.
Yes.
Come on, bro.
Well, go fuck yourself. You want that piece of shit, that's your fucking business, all right? He's dead to me, all right? And chances are, if and when I see him, he's gonna be dead to everyone else as well.
Hey, come on, bro, don't do that.
You're pushing your luck, pal. What was that?
What?
What was that?
Nothing.
Ah! Asshole! Everybody! Assholes!
Trevor, acting more disturbed than usual, refuses to help and leaves. Franklin alone uses the Trackify app to locate Michael, who is found hanging upside down in a meatpacking factory. Franklin rescues Michael from the Triads and they escape to Michael's house. Franklin demands to know the truth about North Yankton, and Michael reluctantly reveals the plan with Dave and his intention to leave the criminal life behind.
Alright then, I'll see you. Sure. Hey, sure you don't want to come in?
What, your big empty-ass house? Dog, I'm depressed enough already.
Alright. Well, listen, thanks.
Look, man, before you go, what the fuck happened up there?
I said, Trevor went crazy, tried to kill me, I got jumped by the Chinese.
Man, before all that, I'm talking about the 5's. Trevor, this guy Brad, man.
I know what you meant. Alright. Look, I made a judgment call. I don't know if it was the right one. I did what I thought I had to do. I had a young family, Franklin. I was running with a crew of crazy motherfuckers with nothing to lose. I saw an out. A future for me, for my family. I took it.
You took it? Man, you burned every motherfucker you've ever known.
It was that or die. Look, I know it sounds cold. I don't expect you to understand it. Not yet, but you will. When you got ties of your own. Look, you wake up one day and your legs, they just give. You just can't run anymore.
All right, man, look. You watch your back, all right? When Trevor finds out you're still alive, I don't know what the fuck he gonna do.
Don't worry about Trevor. He's not gonna get near me. Hey, you watch your back. You hear me?
Dog, it ain't me he coming for. We straight. It's you, dog. It's you.
Just say.
Michael, with Lester, then goes on to meet FIB agents Dave Norton and Steve Haynes, where they need Michael to break into the FIB headquarters to destroy evidence, promising to delete Michael's FIB files. Michael reluctantly agrees, and then they plan to assume the identity of a janitor. After obtaining the janitor's ID and overalls, they still need the architectural plans, which Franklin is tasked with retrieving from the architect. This mission is called Cleaning Out the Bureau, which links to the fact that you get to play as the janitor, where you literally use a mop to clean up before going on to clean or delete the files for Steve in the raid that follows. So it's like a double entendre. Later on, Michael decides to reunite his family after a heart-to-heart with Jimmy. He confronts Amanda and Fabian at a coffee shop, where Michael's intervention leads to Amanda asking for family counseling. Later, Michael and Jimmy rescue Tracy from herself and Laszlo as she tries to get back onto fame and shame. She obviously has daddy issues, probably because Michael didn't give her enough attention. I don't know.
Takes, even if whatever it takes is a depressed borderline alcoholic who hosts the third most popular talent show amongst the 40-year-old female demographic.
So, you'll let me on the show if I blow you?
Yes, and if you could wear some black lipstick, the little guy loves the goth vibe.
Oh.
Whoa!
Laszlo.
Dude, that was entirely out of context, bro.
Jim, you find the ink slinger, sit on him. Laszlo here's gonna have a little cosmetic work done.
No, please.
Whoa. Stay put, you lame-ass Mark.
Sure, kid. What? There we go.
Oh,
nice.
You got like a camera phone or a mirror I can...
Oh yeah, I'll get you a mirror, smash you over the head with it.
Fuck this.
Snip, snip.
Oh, this is a real one-stop shop.
I guess we can finally say Jimmy got his moment. And with that being said, Jimmy ain't the worst character in GTA 5 because he actually seems like he cares at least a little bit about his family. Anyways, the family heads to therapy, expressing their problems, and although tensions remain, Amanda agrees to give their relationships another chance and they drive home cautiously optimistic. As the family enters the house, Amanda warns Michael about potential issues in their home. After that, in the covert fire crew approach, Michael arrives at the garment factory to find Lester preparing to destroy it, which he does by setting it on fire with Michael's help. Michael, as a part of the fire crew, infiltrates the FIB building, plants bombs, and steals a hard drive with Franklin. At least he won't have to be mopping anymore. They escape the collapsing building and evade the police, destroying the fire truck and celebrating at Lester's house afterwards.
We did it!
Fucking A right, we did it!
Ow! How was it?
For a suicidally dangerous mission impersonating emergency services while working a high-security government facility, it was surprisingly uplifting. Come here, give me some of that.
Hey. Ow!
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
You forgot my very, very obvious illness?
It happens.
Whatever. Hey, let's get drunk. Franklin, fill up the glasses. got some real vintage moonshine, hillbilly type shit. We're gonna be seeing triple and committing incest in minutes.
Just the shit to make a man forget his trouble.
Oh, exactly. I am just gonna get drunk as a skunk, and then I'm gonna reverse engineer a webcam and spy on those sorority girls again. I'm ill, okay? Give me a break! Cheers!
Man, that's some foul-ass shit! All right, boys, I hate to break up the ritual, but I gotta go square things up with Davy and Dickwad.
For serious?
Hey, I just want them to know that now that we did this thing for them, and we have the evidence that we did this thing for them, that we can all go our own separate ways, you know?
Well, fuck it. You want me to go with you, dog?
No, stay. Have fun. I gotta do this alone.
Right now.
The sooner the better.
It's one way to look at it, huh?
Right. Besides, I want to put this shit to bed. Then I can figure out Trevor, you know? Get my life back. Go back to being bored and miserable and loving every motherfucking minute of it. Here, enjoy the incest juice.
Man, you boys sure know how to put the fun back in midlife crisis.
Then not too long after, Michael meets Dave at the court center lookout. Dave starts talking and is then interrupted by Haynes and Sanchez, triggering a Mexican standoff.
Got those people off your back? Now you're gonna do like you said and cut me loose, right?
Things are not going to work out quite that way. There's a bit of a problem.
That's right, Davy boy, you could say that.
Steve, I told you I would handle this.
Oh, because you've handled everything so fucking well so far, haven't you?
All right, I admit things have been a little unorthodox, but...
Fucking orthodox! You've ruined my career! Agent Sanchez, arrest these men, both of them.
Steve,
oh,
come
whoa!
on, please.
You fucking kidding me? Arrest me for what?
For multiple counts of every fucking crime under the fucking sun.
Oh, well, then let me rephrase. Why?
Why? Because.
Because you don't want me to testify in court about our various business dealings, right?
Agent Sanchez, apprehend the suspect!
Agent Sanchez, you'll do no such thing. Now, Steve, we agreed to speak to Michael, to try and explain things to him. Not this. This causes problems for us all.
Don't you just love how Steve got shot in the same leg? Both IAA agents and Merryweather arrive, leading to chaos. Haynes escapes, and Michael, along with Dave, fight their way out. Trevor intervenes, helping Michael and Dave escape the FIB and Merryweather, claiming that it's because they can't rob the Union Depository without him. We then switch over to Franklin, where he's chilling at his house, and Tanisha informs him that Lamar's in trouble, held hostage by the ballers at Palito Forest Sawmill. Every time I see Tanisha, I don't understand how Franklin could like someone like that. She's so toxic, she's just like his aunt all over again, and I don't know why he didn't slap that bitch and tell her to fuck off after she walks in his house and starts shouting at the man. Franklin moves like a simp. Why the fuck is she coming in the guy's house and disturbing his peace? She could have sent him a text or called him on the phone. She didn't have to disturb the guy's peace and start shouting in his face. That's just fucked up, I ain't gonna lie. And on the other hand, you know, anyone could argue that Franklin kinda sounded like a sellout there, but he was probably still upset about what happened with the drug deal. And boy, if I was in his shoes and I told Lamar that I wanted to link him up with Michael way back at the start of the game, but he turned it down and kept doing his foolishness time and time again, I would have just moved on with my life, because at the end of the day, Franklin ain't Lamar's daddy, you get me? And all I can say is Lamar's super lucky that Franklin was actually in a position to help him by having Mike and Trevor's help, because if this happened to Lamar before Frank met them, Lamar would have most likely died. Anyways, Franklin, initially reluctant, agrees to rescue Lamar. He calls Lester to enlist Michael and Trevor's help. Together they storm the sawmill, rescue Lamar, and eliminate the ballers. Franklin and Lamar discuss Stretch and his betrayal. After returning Lamar home, they argue about Franklin's attempts to help Lamar and his advice to leave the gang lifestyle. Franklin gives Lamar $50, but Lamar remains dissatisfied, accusing Franklin of abandoning him for a better life. Franklin walks off and is then confronted by Haynes and Norton and refuses their request to kill Trevor. Later on, Devin Weston plans to ruin Solomon's movie for an insurance payout. Michael chases Molly, who has the film reel, causing chaos at the airport, and this mission was just real cinematic, ain't gonna lie, with the cop cars and all of that. Molly stops at Weston's hangar where she accidentally gets sucked into a jet engine. You have to admit, that was funny and satisfying at the same time. Michael retrieves the film, learns that it's digitally backed up, and escapes the police. Solomon assures Michael of a Van Ward premiere for Meltdown despite the chaos being unnecessary. Then after, Michael changes into a tuxedo for the Meltdown premiere. Jimmy arrives in a limo and they head to the theater. On the way, Devin Weston calls furious about Molly's death. At the premiere, Michael notices Amanda and Tracy are both missing. Devin hints at trouble and reveals he sent Merryweather to Michael's house. Michael rushes home, fights off the mercenaries and ensures his family's safety. After planning the big score and doing all the setups, the crew executes the Union Depository heist, where they end up going into the vault and taking gold. After a shootout, they escape with the gold. The crew argues while driving to Michael's house, and I think Franklin basically explains the GTA 5 main characters and pretty much one of the biggest problems with GTA 5's story in a nutshell.
Hang on. We're just leaving the gold.
Yepper.
Hundreds of millions of dollars worth of gold.
Hey, T, have a little faith.
What? Faith? In you, buddy?
All right, in Lester, in the process. Come on. We've been through it a million times. Any fool can take a score. It's getting away clean that makes the difference between those who walk free and those who do not.
Man, I wouldn't know what to do with that shit. I'm guessing you wouldn't either, man.
I'm sorry. I just have some trusting issues right now, Franklin.
If we get away with this, and it's a big if, man, then I can finally really retire.
Watch it, Frank. Michael likes to retire with a very interesting exit strategy.
Come on, man. I mean, we just took the biggest score in the history of scores, and you bitches just want to moan. My mama never loved me. My friends never loved me. I'm mad because I'm rich. I'm sad because I'm successful. Man, this shit is pathetic, both of you.
Oh, I am so sorry.
Hey, we did it, assholes. We did it. Lester.
We have just made history.
I don't want to ask a dumb question here, but where's the metal?
I've got it on lockdown for a few days while I'm waiting for the go-ahead to melt it and move it.
Where?
Where? Exactly. Where is just the point. Let's say somebody gets pinched, well then where is the evidence? Or if anyone gets any silly ideas, then they'll just be futile.
So we can take it easy, knowing that it's gonna be a few days before Judas here shows his true colors.
Really? Now?
Yeah, now, sugar.
Why don't you take a moment while you're sitting on that big fat pile of cash to chill the fuck out and realize what's done is done?
Whatever you say.
Well, this is a good time.
Let's
fuck you, man!
Hey! God, for a couple of Midwest stick-up artists, you guys sure have become a pair of whiny West Coast douchebags!
What the fuck is wrong with the West Coast?
Oh, nothing. I love it here. Everyone's so numbed by the sun that if you use a 3-syllable word, they think you're a professor.
Man, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, you high and mighty weasel! And you don't talk down them to these fucking idiots!
Hey! Leave Lester alone!
Oh, you and Lester together? Oh, now that makes fucking sense!
Oh, for fuck's sake, man! You all are assholes. Man, I gotta go calm down, homie. This shit was real illuminating.
Franklin, I'm sorry. Come on back, have a beer or something.
I just want to yawn whenever I see this cutscene, because it's just so true. Weston orders Franklin to kill Michael, setting up the final mission where I believe that Death Wish, or option C, the third way, is the canon option. And so because Franklin is told by the FIB agents and Devin Weston to kill either Trevor or Michael, instead, he, Michael and Trevor devise a plan to eliminate FIB agents and Merryweather at a foundry.
What's the panic, bro?
What the fuck do you think? Man, imagine a fucking scenario that will fuck things up the worst.
Boy, my mind is just racing. But you know, I don't want to say something that's really exciting and then you have to act all deflated and say, no, it's just that somebody got the same tattoo I got. So why don't you just go ahead and tell me?
Some motherfucker wants me to kill Michael. Some other motherfucker wants me to kill Trevor. I feel I can't kill both of them. Man, I'm fucked, man. I don't know what the fuck to do right now. Damn.
Well, I can see that. Who are the motherfuckers?
Steve Haynes, this angry motherfucker from the FIB. Devin Weston, man. You know the,
that angry rich fucker from whatever hole he hibernates in.
Exactly.
All right. I say kill Michael, then kill Trevor.
Man, are you for real?
You're fucked, you know? I don't know.
You know everything, dawg.
I know, okay? But I'm sorry. I guess this is it. You know, I'm doing my best, man. I don't know how you can deal with both of them.
I know, man.
Shit. We're fucked. Every single one of us is fucked. Unless... Okay, Steve Haynes. is under a lot of heat because of the shootings at Court Center. And Devin Weston is A, known to be a major asshole, and B, known to be friendly with Don Percival, who runs Merriweather. I think, actually, Weston owns a piece of Merriweather. Right, 11%. Pretty good for a pseudo-liberal owning a private army. So, they would both love to be involved in capturing the bullion that we just lifted. If I tell them both that you boys are at the foundry in Marietta Heights melting it down, then maybe both of them will pay you a visit and bam, we turn it into a bust.
I ain't got no better ideas.
All right, I'm gonna get in touch with Michael and Trevor. You go to the foundry, get yourself set up.
I got you.
They successfully execute the plan, leading to a massive shootout. Afterward, they target and eliminate the people who betrayed them in the past in order to tie up loose ends. Michael takes out Stretch, Trevor kills Haynes, and Frank deals with Cheng. I think it would have been more dramatic if they made Frank kill Stretch, maybe with Lamar's help, and let Michael kill Haynes and Trevor kill Cheng. And although I understand why they did it that way, so that they basically don't get noticed and the kills are clean, I just think it would have made for a better story if they each killed their own enemies. Finally, they kidnap Devin Weston, taking him to a cliff for revenge.
I assume you got him?
Ooh, safe and sound. Ain't that right, buddy?
Hey, my bad, homie. I picked C. Ain't that a bitch?
You know, Devin, the way I see it, and hey, I'm no intelligent businessman like you, but the way I see it, there's two great evils that bedevil American capitalism of the type that you practice. Number one is outsourcing. You paid a private company to do your dirty work for you. And then you underpaid that company because you thought you were big enough and bad enough that you didn't have to play by the rules. Oh, number two, offshoring your profits.
Offshore?
Oh, it's horrible. You wouldn't want to be sent offshore just to save a little money, would you, T?
No,
Franklin?
I wouldn't.
Oh, nah, I ain't
Would you
going
want?
nowhere.
No, see, but we know your opinions on the matter, Devin. Keep your problems the fuck out of America, huh?
In this instance, when he puts it like that, it makes sense.
Of course it does. Hey, Devin. Goodbye, my old friend. Thanks for all the advice.
Bye-bye.
The trio pushes Weston's car off the cliff, killing him, and concludes with plans to lay low. Michael announces his retirement, while Trevor and Franklin contemplate their future criminal endeavors. Then the credits roll. You know, after replaying the story and going through it like this, I realized the core of the story might not be that bad after all, but I still wouldn't change its place on the GTA story ranking I did. I'll link it in the description if you haven't seen it yet. And overall, GTA 5 is a solid story, but not if I'm comparing it to other GTA games and other Rockstar titles like Red Dead 2. It just kind of feels like Simpsons in a way, but a more brutal and gamey yet serious version of the Simpsons. Just look at how Michael and Jimmy were always fighting. You can't say that doesn't remind you of Homer and Bart, and Trevor is just a cross between Willie and Sideshow Bob, whereas Franklin is just a diluted version of CJ, so the game can feel like a GTA game as opposed to a Simpsons hit and run game. And I will admit, that's kind of a weird way to look at GTA 5, but that's just the vibes that I get from it. You get me? And feel free to disagree if you want to. I know some people think GTA 5 is the greatest story ever told, or whatever you want to think. You get me? Believe what you want to believe, bro. To each his own. But anyways, if you made it this far and you enjoyed the retrospective, smash that like button and smash that subscribe button, because at the end of the day, you doing that is going to help me to bring you more content that you enjoy. You get me? And leave a comment and let me know what you think as well.